First question, in what ways do you feel that the common foreign and security policy of the EU has responded to the Kissinger question? Who do I call if I want to call Europe?
I think Mr. Kissinger at least must be clearer as to what his possible channels are. And I think if he were Secretary of State of the United States, he would very well know where to call to be sure that he got sort of the really right formal entrance. He should call Mrs. Mogherini. As to his own concern, as he expressed it in the interview with the Spiegel, where he said there is a vacuum between the nation vision and the EU lack of a vision to take over the nation vision. He is absolutely right. And I think that's a challenge that we are now working on. And one example is the global strategy. A work set in motion by Mrs. Mogherini, which gives the member state the occasion to see how can we create a modern framework that responds to the challenges we are now facing. So I think Mr. Kissinger should be happy at least that he would know some of the numbers he could call and get a sensible answer.
How might a successful conclusion of the TTIP trade deal affect the EU's common foreign and security policy?
I think this dossier, the TTIP, is an extremely important element in our upcoming thinking about where do we want to go. This is going to be the future bridge between the two big transatlantic allies. And as the world around us, both North America and Europe, is getting bigger and bigger and more challenging, I think the interest in getting a sensible TTIP on the ground and ratified in Europe and in North America is extremely important. We probably have to give way in various aspects. And it's not only the question of the investment tribunal, which has been sort of a very controversial issue in Europe and many European countries. We have to find a common solution there, but I think the challenge is sufficiently great that my colleagues will be able to find a solution.
How is the EU's common foreign and security policy framework responding to increasing Euroscepticism within the member states?
I think the foreign policy area has been one where, in particular, the Brits have seen an advantage in cooperation among the European countries. It would be a great loss if the UK had to leave the EU, because I think we increasingly in the member states, and when I talk to my children and also now grandchildren, I think they have started thinking more in European terms. They expect that we are able to respond collectively to challenges. So I think the foreign policy is an important area. Unfortunately, we're not always able to do it. And one present challenge is, are we able now to handle the migration waves hitting us from Northern Africa and from the Middle East, from Syria? That would be a test case, I think, for what we as a collective can do